Hello and welcome to yet another tutorial by Davies Media Design. My name is Michael Davies, and in today's tutorial I'll be covering the Shadows Highlights image adjustment tool found in GIMP. This is a new tool that was introduced in GIMP 2.10, so you have to have versions GIMP 2.10 or newer to use this feature. And of course for this tutorial I'll be using the latest version of GIMP, which at the time of this tutorial is GIMP 2.10.8. Before I get into the tutorial, I want to direct you guys over to my website at daviesmediadesign.com. As always, we have tons of GIMP video and text tutorials on here, so definitely check that out. You can also enroll in our GIMP 2.10 photo editing course from beginner to pro photo retoucher on Udemy, and I'll include a link to this as well as all the relevant links from this tutorial in the description of the video. Alright, so the photo for today's tutorial is one that was taken of me at just like a general networking event. And the reason I chose this photo is because there is a very bright light source here in the top left of the photo. Really, almost the entire top part of the photo is very bright. And then the bottom part of the photo is in the shadow. So you have this whole light area up top, which is the highlights, by the way. And then you have all of the shadow area in the bottom. So it creates some good contrast here, which is really good for this tool. So I'll start by showing you guys where the tool is at, of course. It's under Colors, and then right here, Shadows Highlights. And you can see when I hover over it, it says Perform Shadows and Highlights Correction. So I'll click on that. And that brings up my Shadows Highlights dialog box. So this is broken up into three different sections. You've got your shadows, your highlights, and then you've got common. And I'll go over that in a second. But starting with the shadows section, this obviously controls the shadows in your image. So again, the shadows are going to be the darker parts of your image. So all these parts over here, you know, the girl's dress right here, her hair, my legs right here, my hair. And by the way, there is a big, bright spot on my forehead, which doesn't look great. But for the purposes of this tutorial, it's fine. And we have what's going on here in the shadows. So don't overcomplicate it when it comes to shadows and highlights in your image. If you're wondering what a shadow is, what a highlight is, it's whatever it looks like in front of you. So again, over here, these really bright, whiter pixels in my image are going to be the highlights. The darker pixels in my image are usually going to be the shadows. And of course, you can see the difference here between when I say dark pixels versus dark objects. So my pants right here are obviously black, but you can see the difference between the shade of black or just the shade of the pixels in general between the dark part here that's in the shadows and the light part here in the highlights. So I hope this isn't too obvious, but this is just something that a lot of beginner photographers struggle with when they're photo editing. Shadows are the dark parts, highlights are the light parts, and then you do have midtones. So in between the shadows and highlights, you've got pixels that maybe aren't quite as dark. So maybe my face, for example, this lady's face over here, those aren't quite as dark. Those are generally going to be considered your midtones. All right, so the shadow slider over here is going to adjust the exposure of the shadows. It says it right there as you hover over it. So when I crank my shadows up, you'll notice the dark parts of my image get really light or really bright. So it just increases the exposure of those, meaning basically that it's making those pixels brighter overall. So that's with it turned all the way up to 100. If I turn this all the way down, it'll go down to negative 100. And you'll see all the shadow areas of our image now become darker. That's another way to differentiate what is the actual shadows of your image from a technical standpoint. Whatever is being affected by this slider is going to be the shadow pixels of your image. So now you can see the dark parts of her dress over here, and the dark parts of my pants are now getting really dark. And so that's just showing you the drastic difference between turning this all the way up or all the way down. I can come over here and hit the reset button, and that's going to reset my shadows back to normal. Let me just turn these all the way up real quick because I do want to demonstrate the next feature on here, which is the shadows color adjustment. And as I hover over that, you can see it says adjust saturation of the shadows. So this is like almost the equivalent of just pulling up the saturation option under your image menu here. So the saturation color adjustment, but instead this is allowing you to do this just on the shadows within this tool here. So if I turn this all the way down here, this is going to desaturate my shadows. So you'll see the pixels that were in my shadows are now a little bit more desaturated, and by that of course I mean they have a little bit less color to them, so getting more towards black and white. The main difference I would say between the color adjustment sliders within the shadows highlights tool and the ones found in the actual saturation slider is that these aren't going to make your shadow pixels entirely black and white. So if I zoom in here, you'll see that they are fairly desaturated, but they aren't entirely black and white. So they don't completely take the saturation out of those pixels there. And of course, if I turn these all the way back up, you'll see the color is restored in those shadow pixels. So you can see what that shadows color adjustment does there. All right, once again, I'm gonna hit reset. That's gonna bring our shadows back to 0. And the next part I'm going to tweak are going to be my highlights. So if I turn my highlights all the way up, you'll see all of the brighter parts of my image are now going to be super bright. So that's obviously way blown out. This is not something I would typically do unless I was going for a specific effect. But this is just to demonstrate that the highlight slider here is going to adjust the exposure of the highlights as it says when I hover over it there. And so now these are way overexposed right here because I did crank up my highlights. You can see also the lady's face here, parts of it are considered the highlight pixels. The bright parts of my shirt and again, the bright parts of my pants, these weren't affected quite as much here, so maybe those are considered more so midtones. But over here, the sky in the background here, really any part that's going to have a lot of sun shining on it is going to be considered a highlight usually in your photos. But you'll see that when I turn the highlights all the way down, now it's going to really try to dampen those highlights or really darken those highlights. And obviously this is way too much. I turned it all the way to -100, but you can see the effect that's created. So over here, we've actually recovered a lot of details in what was going on back here. So when we tone down those highlights, this isn't blown out as much back here. We can see that there's a building and there's clouds and there's really all this stuff going on back here that we couldn't really see before. Obviously, since I turned this down too much, it's affecting other highlight pixels in the image that I don't want it to affect. Mainly this lady right here, you can see her face is really dark now, and there's parts of my face that are really dark as well. So actually, let me hit the reset button here and just bring this back to 0. So the next feature on here is the highlights color adjustment slider, and this is going to perform the same thing as the shadows color adjustment slider here. So this is just going to either make your highlights more saturated or more desaturated. And so if I turn this all the way up right now, you'll see there's not really a noticeable difference anywhere on this image. However, if I come up here to my highlights and I turn these all the way up, you're really going to see the difference here. So right now the highlights color adjustment is turned all the way up. And then if I turn it all the way down, you'll see it looks much more desaturated here. There's much less color going on. Let me just show that again. So there is a before with this turned all the way up. There's an after with it turned all the way down. And then if I turn the highlights all the way down, you can also really see this in action. So right now, this almost looks like a black and white photo back here. But if I turn the highlights color adjustment slider all the way up to 100, you can see a lot of that color returning there. So you guys can see what changes this highlights color adjustment slider makes to your highlight colors. So once again, I'll hit the reset button and bring everything back to normal. All right, so the next section is called the common section. So here you have 3 different sliders. You've got the white point adjustment, the radius, and compress. So the white point adjustment slider is going to allow you to shift the white point of the image. And by shifting the white point, you are determining the range of value of white pixels in the overall image. So when I shift the white point to the right, or if I increase this all the way, so right now I'm increasing this all the way to 10, that is going to add more white pixels to our image, and it's just going to make this a brighter image overall, as you guys could probably tell there. And on the other hand, if I shift this to the left, it's shifting my white point down, and it's taking away white pixels from the image. It's really clipping our whites off, and so basically it's just not as bright of an image here. So let me just come over here and hit the reset button. So when we bring that white point adjustment back up to 0, you can see once again this is a slightly brighter image. The next slider is the radius slider, and when you hover over this, it says spatial extent. So that's not giving you a ton of information. But in other words, you can constrain your effects to smaller areas or allow the effects to affect larger pixel areas in your image. So let me demonstrate this by coming over to my highlights, and I'll just turn these back all the way up. And now if I come over to the radius slider and I turn this all the way up, you'll see that basically this is taking away some of the constraint from those pixels that we turned up in the highlights area. So by doing that, we're basically allowing the increase in the exposure to the highlights to spill over into other areas of the image. And you can really see that in places like my face right here, which is now almost entirely blown out, and this lady's face right here. So again, we're taking away some of the constraint of the effects we're applying to the highlights in our image in this case, and that's just causing the effect to spill over into other areas. But if I come over here and I turn the radius down, you'll see that's going to add a little bit more constraint to the effect. So even though our highlights are turned up here, so they're still more blown out over here versus if I turn them down. So there, they're turned up. There's just more of a constraint placed on this effect. The radius is much smaller, so it's not spilling out into other areas of the image as much. And so it's just going to create a different look overall, really. So let me just hit the reset button on here. And I'm going to turn the highlights back up to 100. The next slider here is the compress slider. And you can see when you hover over here, it says compress the effect on shadows, highlights, and preserve midtones. So this performs a similar function to the radius slider, though it contains your adjustments in either just the highlights or the shadows in order to preserve the midtones of your image. So in other words, by turning this all the way up to 100, we're telling this effect that we want to constrain the effects of the highlights exposure increase that we performed up here just to the brightest parts of our image, versus if I come over here and turn the compress slider all the way down, now we're not constraining this effect at all, and now you can see it's really spilled over into almost every pixel in this image. It's really caused the blown out whites to kind of just take over the image and get a little bit out of control. So this just gives you a little bit of control over the effects and how much of those bright pixels this is being applied to. And if I reset this and I turn the shadows up and then use the compress effect here, you can see that this is either constraining this entirely to the shadow, the darker pixels of our image, or if I turn this all the way down, you can see this isn't constraining this very well at all. And so it's causing the increased exposure of our shadows to spill out into almost all the pixels throughout our entire image. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. I'm just gonna come over here and hit the reset button. All right, so I've shown you sort of the extremes of all the sliders, all the effects found here in the Shadows Highlights tool. So now I'm gonna use this to just edit this image the way I normally would. So I'm just going to sort of, test these sliders out. And right now I'm going to use my shadows slider to increase some of the details going on in the shadows here that we maybe couldn't see before. So we're bringing out some of the colors in her dress by doing this. I'm going to keep the shadows color adjustment slider all the way up. That's just something I usually do because I don't want to take any of the colors out of here. I don't think it looks too artificial right now with the details popping out a little bit more now. And we can always test this by increasing this sort of past the threshold of what we think looks good. So right now it's a little bit too far, so I'm going to tone this down a little bit. So I'll go with about 50 right there, and I'll leave that as it is. So I'll move on to the highlight slider, and here I have a decision to make because either I want to create an effect where these are purposely blown out, or I want to decrease how intense these highlights are right here by turning the highlight slider down and revealing more of the detail in the background. So let me just test both of those out. So here I'm just decreasing the blown out look, and I actually really like that. Here I'm increasing it a bit. I don't like that, so I'm just going to go with decreasing the highlights here. And I can work on increasing the color of those highlights a little bit. There's not going to be a ton of difference there, but there's a before, there's an after. So now I'll come over to my white point adjustment and see if I can shift the white point of my image and make this look a little bit better. So in this case, because my image is really bright, I'm going to just turn the white point, or I'm going to shift the white point to the left a little bit. And then we've got the radius and compress options. Again, this is working on constraining some of those effects we created. So I can either turn that radius up, which is going to cause some of those effects to sort of spread out throughout the image, or I can decrease it a little bit there. And to be honest, I think decreasing it a bit looks a little bit better in my opinion. I just think it looks a little bit too sharp with some of the effects going on here, a little bit too much contrast. So there's a before, there's an after, and then same thing with the compress. So there's a before, that's kind of blending some of those colors together, some of those shadows and highlights together. And if I turn this down, it's almost making those blend a little bit less. So it's just a matter of preference here. I think it does give it sort of a softer look when I do increase the compress slider here. So here's a before, here's an after. So we've tamed some of the highlights here. We've increased some of the details in the shadows. And I think we've just blended the different forms of lighting in here to make it a little bit less harsh and a little bit easier on the eyes. Obviously, there's still more adjustments to be made to this image. This is just the shadows and the highlights, but I'll save that for one of my live photo editing sessions, and I'll just click OK, and there we go. All right, so that's it for this tutorial. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/daviesmediadesign. You can enroll in our best-selling GIMP photo editing course from beginner to pro photo retoucher on Udemy. And you can support our channel and help us grow by becoming a patron on Patreon. And I'll include a link to that as well as all the relevant links from this tutorial in the description of the video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.